What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB. Once again, big shout out to my dog, Daniel Martin Music, for coming through and boosting up the coin. So, we got some breaking news for the great and washed masses right now regarding Alex Pereira, man. He smoked that Habib done differently, man. They ain't got no squabbles, them Habib cats, man. I think, to be fair, Habib was alright, but he's new, man. That Hamzat cat, that was stinky. Listen, I'm not DDP's biggest fan. He ain't got no scramble game. That's for sure. DDP, yeah? He looked like he never defended a takedown in his life. That said, you gotta let your hands go, man. Yeah? This dude, Magomed, this kind of Habib, Nifandara looking dude, proper big stiff idiot, if I'm honest. I thought, whoa, he big and stiff. Right? It should be a lay and pray like the first fight. It's a stinker. And that's what turned me off Pereira, to be fair. I kind of doubted him for this one. I thought, he's kind of lost it. He's got the clout, he's got the fame, and he's knocking on to 40 now. I thought, yeah, he's kind of lost it. That first fight was woeful. Then in the build-up to this fight, he said, yeah, but the first fight I was ill and sick. I thought, yeah, we've heard that before. But fair play to Pereira, man. He came out with bad intentions, and he popped Habib's Nifandara nephew, not even on his chops. It was more like on this bit here. Just popped him right on his head top, right off his bonce. I'll show you the clip now. And it rattled him down to his boots. It looked like Magomed had never been hit before, if I'm honest. That's how it looked. He kind of like panicked. It almost froze him. Like, I've seen people before. I'm not saying it's good or funny, but I've seen cats, with the rats, they kind of clop a rat on its head and it goes. That's what it looked like to me, honestly. Pereira clubs his big right hand over, hits his bonce, hits Magomed's bonce, the Fandaralian bonce, and he's like, he kind of rolls over like a possum, to tell the truth. Here we go. Let's do the frame by frame analyses, baby, please. Alright. I'll turn the audio off. This is within 1 minute into the fight as well. It looks like Magomed was talking a bunch. No more chama. No more chama. He talked a bunch, man. But he went with it. He shook. Look. Pereira bowls for the ashes. Bosh. There you go. Right on the side of his bonce. Right on the side. But them shots, that's what AJ got hit with. Anthony Johnston, when he fought double cheese Andy Ruiz. Look at that there. Look. Boshed him right there. So he should have stood at that point. At that point, Pereira's kind of betting out of shape himself. He's put all of his energy into that shot. He's put all of his balance into that shot. Obviously, listen, Pereira's a master striker, but a lot of these wrestling dudes, they do this, man. They panic wrestle. And that's what you see in a second from Magomed. Rather than holding his frame, hold your frame, I can't do the Irish accent, but you get the point. What McSniff talks about. McSniff talks about holding your frame. Magomed, I don't know what he was doing, but watch. He gets boshed. He's still on his feet, but look, he's scared to death. Oh my God, he's like almost cowering. Look. His legs haven't gone, from what I'm seeing. He just looks scared to death to get hit. It seems to be Magomed, for whatever reason, despite having partial Nefanderalian DNA, Chechen, Dagestani Nefanderal DNA, he ain't really like that, man. He new age. He's like, watch him panic now, look. Look, he's just kind of covering up in the fetal position. And here comes the panic wrestle. Oh, not the panic wrestle. Low T panic wrestle, man. We know Pereira ain't the best wrestler, but look at this. Super low T. Pereira gets the sprawl, and then Magomed, he just looks soft in there, man. It looks like almost... In the first fight, I thought Pereira didn't really come to win. And this shows you how important psychology is in fighting. When you come in there to do someone serious harm, it doesn't guarantee you're going to win, but it sets you up the right way. I feel almost as if Magomed had convinced himself, yeah, I'll go in there, I'll go through the motions and work my way into the fight. That is one thing you have to give Habib credit for, to be fair to him. He never really came into a fight just looking to stink the place out and ease in. Most of the time he was stopping cats early. I think he's got one of the highest stoppage records in the game. People complained, but it's not like it was with some of them Dagestani, man. They're too boring, man. Lay and pray type. SHIT. A bit like Hamzat, to be fair. That was stinkalicious, man. Just pure wrestling, no BJJ. Habib had to be BJJ, man. And Habib did have that killer instinct. Magomed, for whatever reason, I didn't see that night, right? He had a number of options. Once that big punch landed, he could have thrown back and bowled for the ashes, or he could have at least made a decent attempt at the takedown. It's almost non-committal. Now, we're not in his head. It could be the fact, whilst his legs looked like they were holding up, maybe he was rocked to his boots and it startled him. But the whole way through the fight, in my opinion, it was clear that one man was proper intent on winning. And it wasn't Nafandaral. It was not. It was Pereira. Here we go. Here comes the ground and pound. Look, Magomed just clinging on. And I have to be honest as well, during this ground and pound, I thought actually the referee maybe stopped it a little bit early. Now, I believe there is a doctrine within UFC where it's kind of like the rules are like, if there's X amount of unanswered punches, then they kind of call it a day. But, like I was saying, most of them were being defended. So you can see it here. There wasn't a bunch of clean ones going through. Of course, listen, would I want to be on bottom? I don't want no man to top me. Never mind Alex Pereira, man. But look, come on. The shots ain't that clean. I think he starts raining down elbows. And this really builds into the narrative I was saying earlier about the psychology of it as well. Because Magomed didn't even complain. Right? I've seen fighters in similar situations, and when the ref ultimately stands in, they're like, what? No. Like, I was defending myself. He was happy just laying there. And Alex Pereira was sprinkling some chammer on his ass, man. Here comes the elbows. Yeah, look. It's difficult, innit? There's one elbow. He's not even looking at what's... Oh, yeah, that's back of the head as well. Yeah, I mean, listen. I'm surprised, though. These Dagestani dons are normally good off the top or the bottom. It's like he had nothing left. Maybe that one punch rocked him down to his boots. But yeah, he hasn't done nothing. Listen, I'm not a UFC mixed martial arts technician, but it's like he had no game at all. So we have to... One of two things have to be true. Either Magomed don't know what he's doing, or he was rocked. Or a combination of both. It's probably that, but look. Yeah, I mean, them elbows, man. It looks like it's cutting through and hitting him around here. Because if you've got your hand up like that, right, there's only so much you can protect with someone raining elbows down. The ref jumps in, and then Pereira takes the piss, man, I'm not going to lie. He starts sprinkling him with holy water. Look, Magomed's laid out. He finished. He didn't want no more. Look, the referee steps in. Magomed's goosed. Magomed does not jump up and say, hey, man, I was defending myself. Look, he stretched out. He didn't want no more topping from Alex. Yeah? Power bottom looking ass. Just, come on, man. Let's call a spade. How many men on grinded do you think look just like this cat here after being power bottomed? Look, like, come on, man. Power top, man. That's what you do. That's what Alex did to this cat, man. Power topped his ass. Take it. So Alex is sprinkling the chammer on him now. But yeah, I'm disappointed in Magomed. Thankfully, though, if I was to bet, the odds are where are they here? Pereira was a underdog, and the odds were plus 150. So you put 100 down, and you'd win 150 profit. Magomed was a decent underdog, minus 180. Sorry, Magomed was a decent favourite. And I would have gone with that. I'd have gone with a lay and pray. That's what I'd have gone with. So thank God. The God's a blessing, man. But yeah, I have to salute Pereira, basically. Because in this day and age, we don't really see cats coming back and doing much. Once they've achieved most of what they've achieved, they tend to lose that. And I thought that was what the first fight was. I thought, okay, he's peaked now. I think I lost some money on that first fight as well, backing him. Anywho, I want to move on to... Where is it? I want to move on. Because Pereira has since come out. What's he done now? I think he was 185 champ, 205 champ. And now he wants to go to heavyweight. However, he's not politicking for any heavyweight fight. In fact, he don't even want the winner of Gannon Aspinall. He wants Johnny Bones. Here's the quotes.
Essa é a melhor aposta. Não, queria super luta.
So he says, I want super fight.
No, I want a super fight.
Oh, super fight at heavyweight.
I can think of one
Wow.
name.
Derek Lewis? It's Aspinall, man.
Bom, não sei se o... Pô, Casa Branca, John Jones.
John
seria uma
Jones.
super luta.
At the White House.
John Jones. That's
okay.
a super fight.
All right, so he's...
So he wants John Jones at the White House. That White House card is supposed to have Conor McSniff on. I think it's July 26th. Around International Fight Week or something like that. It's either way, it's July 26th or something like that. July 26th next year. He wants Jones, but I think Jones might not come back. I think Jones would come back to fight Pereira, because Jones would see that as a winnable fight. That said, I'm not sure Dana, and maybe rightfully so. I mean, should Dana spite his face? As such, should he say, well, you're not fighting Aspinall, so you're not fighting at all? At one point, that was Dana White's position. In fact, John Jones wanted to fight Pereira before his fake retirement. He wanted that instead of Aspinall. Dana said, no, is Aspinall a bust? So I can see both sides here. We'd all love to watch. And again, actually, would I want to watch Jones and Pereira? I'd watch it, of course, but it would leave a bit of a sour taste. Or could that be the law to get John in the mix? Maybe Gan makes Aspinall look bad. That would be the best outcome, right? Aspinall wins but looks bad against Gan. Jones looks great against Pereira. And then maybe Jones does it. But he too corny, man. Johnny too corny, man, to tell the truth. And I get why Dana might not want that. Because Pereira has a puncher's chance. A bit like that Magomed fight. Right? That's what he has against John Jones. We've just seen it. It's possible. You can clip someone and they're on skates. But that is all he really has. The odds here for Jones and Pereira, where are they? Yeah, Jones is a big favourite. Minus 300 basically. So you put 300 down, you win a 1 profit. Crazy. So that tells you really all you need to know. Pereira's got a puncher's chance there. But listen, Pereira's been he's always ready to fight. He's stepped in, he's saved cards. So on that basis, from Pereira's point of view, he's come back after a somewhat embarrassing loss against Magomed, the first one. He probably does deserve Jones. But does Jones even want to do that now? He's been at the ring another 6 months to a year or whatever it is. He probably would take it though. Bearing in mind he said he wants to fight at the White House. And I don't really know why Pereira don't want Tom Aspinall. Maybe he would. If the Jones fight isn't possible and he wants to go to heavyweight anyway, there's no point really hanging around. Both light heavyweight and heavyweight are kind of dead, aren't they? Let's be real. Listen, I'm not a UFC professional, right? But still, I couldn't even tell you who's in either of them divisions. Apart from Aspinall and Pereira. Even Magomed, who is he? Never heard of him day in my life, right? So you'd think, if Jones don't take it, even so, the only fight to make then is Pereira and Aspinall. That's got to be done. And I think Pereira would take it if Jones isn't available. I get why. If I was Pereira, what would I prefer? I'd prefer a smaller, older, semi/full retired heavyweight in John Jones, who can't really punch as well. Aspinall, young, fresh, got it all to prove. He wants that Pereira cap on his hat. Jones, there's much more likelihood. Well, is it likely? I don't know. Aspinall hasn't been tested as such, particularly in the striking. But Pereira's one-dimensional, isn't he? Aspinall's not going to come out and just strike with him. He might do. I doubt it though. He's going to. I'd say Aspinall would mix it up. Jones, he will not strike at all. He will come out and he'll try and make it Gan 2. That's what he'll try and do with Pereira. But yeah, fair play to Pereira, man. I didn't have him winning that like that. It shows you, man. You got to lock this in here. Totally ferocious in the ring and out. Come in there and Johnny Bosch someone outside their head. Yeah. I've got some quick clips here, I think, as well. And look at this guy, look. Just mugging him off, man. Stretch his ass out, pause. Look at this guy here, look. Just he's violated him. I do rate that about Pereira, though. He must have been sick last fight or something wrong with him. He does seem to have this elite confidence. He'll jump in there on late notice. He's almost McGregor-esque back in the day. Back in 2013 or 2014, 2015. He got that kind of swag to him. The difference is Pereira, he didn't reach the heights of McSniff, but he's been able to maintain. He really loves this. McTapper, fighting was almost a means to an end. He don't really live like it. This cat, Pereira, he really liked them Aztec Dons, man. He really lived for the fade. Yeah? He lived for the holy squabble. That's what he does. You don't really see... In fact, the only clips I see of Pereira, even at 40 years old, and he's made millions of dollars, and he's got all the clout, and he's got all the brass, right? The only clips I see of him on social media is him in random ass gyms, whether it's Japan or wherever you want, running the fade with whoever wants it. And that's wholesome. He'll be everywhere, in random little gyms you never heard of before. He running a fade with someone. He's trying to get that work in. Unlike McSniff, all you see him doing is proper bugging out and tweaking out on videos. All you see him doing. Or, tell you a lie, I saw one video of McSniff bullying some little boys. Did you see that one? He's sparring some cat who looks about 140 pounds soaking wet and about 14 years old, and McSniff's just teeing off on him. I thought, you are a proper degenerate snowhead. Yeah, that's what McSniff is. Embarrassing. Alright, so let me know your thoughts, people. And that's another thing as well. Apparently, Pereira was going to call out John Jones after the fight. But then obviously, John Jones' NFL brother passed away in the last week. So Pereira actually held off calling John Jones out and said, salute to your brother type thing. Which again, Pereira don't owe John Jones nothing, if that makes sense. So I get wholesome vibes from Pereira, man. Yeah? He's still in the hood like that. Those are the vibes I get from him. Yeah? He ain't brand new. He's still in the hood. He's still outside in the hood. He ain't really changed up like that. He got the same team, I believe, that he's had for years. He brought them people with him, and he's managed to stay pretty level-headed. So you have to salute that. Anyway, I'm out of here, man. Smash the like button, subscribe. Leck off the bell. Check out my Patreon, man. We've got 1 million videos here, man. Whoop-de-whoop. Put a drink in the Wabi's pocket. Yeah? Exclusive content. Talking all X-rated, leaked, explicit, Peggy 18 conversations, political and otherwise. Yeah? Come on, man. Get me, man. Listen, man. Get me that drink right now. Stop playing with me, man. That's what you need to do. Johnny, boy.